What's happening, Creek? It's Coach Abel here. A little later than normally. Normally, I like to have these things out to you guys by Sunday. It's now Wednesday. For that, I apologize. I was waiting on a few things to come in from some other people before I made the announcement. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. Let's roll. All right, schedule for this week. Again, today is probably the weirdest of all days because our freshmen and our linemen are coming in to practice at regular time, 6 to about 8 o'clock. We end a little bit early for those guys today, and that's because the skill guys are going to be up in Southern Indiana doing a little 7-on-7 work. The goal is to leave. Buses leave by 5:30. We get to North Harrison High School, Indiana, around 6:20 ish. Get out there and get rolling. The goal is to leave around 8:15. That way, we're back by 9 o'clock. I will update everybody on the app and let you guys know what's going on. Okay, just make sure that you guys are on the band app if you're not already. Okay, and we'll talk about any other events for this week in this video. The mandatory freshman parent meeting is this Thursday at 8 o'clock in the auditorium. It's at the front of the school building. I'll have those doors propped open. You really don't need to bring anything except for your cell phone, which is a part of this anyway. This is for freshmen and new parents. So if a new parent is not on here, if a freshman parent is not on here, and you know that, go ahead and communicate that to them. If you don't mind, we've done the same thing with the boys. We've communicated that to them as well. Okay. All right. Big event Saturday. Lots of announcements for this. The 7-on-7 air raid tournament that we are hosting will take place Saturday morning. Now, this is for everybody. Everybody needs to be in attendance Saturday. I'm asking our guys to get to Fern Creek High School by 7 a.m. And it's an all-day event. And per the usual, I will update you guys on the band app as to when the event will conclude. I'd like to tell you that it's going to be done by 6 or 6:30. I can't guarantee that, however, because of what the weather looks like. Looks like we can be dodging storms all day. Storms will give us lightning delays. We'll have to put these guys under cover for a little bit while the lightning and the storms pass. But we need all hands on deck because this is a huge endeavor. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a fun one, but it's a big one. Okay. Uh, for those of you guys coming, be sure to bring your own chairs. There isn't bleacher seating or anything like that. It is $5 a person. If you carpool, it's $15 per car. So if it's three or more people, you might as well try to carpool together to save yourself the buck, and you'll get a wristband. You guys can enter and exit as you please. Okay. Um, I am feeding the freshmen and the linemen. We're going to provide some fruits for the guys that are participating. But if they want any kind of substance, they're going to have to kind of bring that on their own. The Booster Club is going to provide us with as many snacks as possible. There will be concessions there, so it might be a good idea to bring a few bucks with you in the event that these guys get pretty hungry or whatnot. Okay. I would say that we are feeding them ourselves, but we're doing pizza and donuts for the workers, and that's not the greatest thing to be eating prior to contests. So, there you go. All right. Other things. Player fees are due by the 24th. Okay, and this here tells you what it all covers. It's actually $130 because the insurance has been waived for this year. Many of you guys had asked me if you guys could pay online. You can. You can pay online at the creekfootballstore.weebly.com. Okay. You can also buy your season passes on that site. Okay. So player fees and season passes at season athletic passes can be bought at the Creek Football Store .weebly.com. Or of course, you guys can just bring in check or cash. If it's check, it's made out to Fern Creek Football Booster Club. And when you guys bring in cash, I'll send you guys a digital receipt. Okay. So we need to start getting those in sooner than later. All right, here's some information that I was waiting on. We have 2 team stores, some spirit wear for you guys. This really isn't a fundraiser for us. I tell our vendors just to kind of keep this stuff as cheap as possible for you guys. I would like to tell you that they would be here before the first game, but I can't guarantee that. The BSN team store closes on July 26th. That's a couple Mondays from now. And then the Metro Screen Printing store shuts down on August 1. Metro Screen Printing is done by a local Fern Creek guy. His wife actually works at Fern Creek as well. Great people. Those guys, they will probably be a little bit more likely to get things done sooner than later. BSN, it's all going to be dependent on staffing and production at their big stores and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But I did do my best to provide you guys with as many options as possible. I did do some consumer friendly options and not a whole lot of name brand things on there. On the BSN store, you guys will find team cleats and girdles, and that's something that needs to be reminded. We have girdles to provide to some of our guys, but we really don't want to do that anymore. That's something that kind of COVID, brought to our attention last year. Is not the most sanitary thing. So we are asking guys to provide their own girdles, and we will be in girdles here in a couple weeks. So if you haven't bought yours yet, make sure you go out and do that. That's the only piece of equipment that we really don't provide to the guys. Sports physicals. We've been through this much times. Physicals rolling in. There is an additional form which you're seeing here that was just passed down to us just this past week. If it's not included in your physical, no sweat. I'm going to give these papers out to you guys. And even if this was included, I'm probably going to give these papers out again next week just to say that we've got them. And then so therefore, just take these home. The players will take these home, fill them out, complete them, sign them, bring them back. And it's one less thing. Okay. But it's pretty much just a questionnaire, letting everybody know where we stand with COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff. All right. More important dates: Central Hardin 7-on-7 Alignment Challenge. Unlike this Saturday where we're doing everybody, next Friday is literally going to be an invite only thing. Okay. We will still have freshmen and linemen practice at Fern Creek. Okay. For those of the guys that are not invited, but the Central Hardin 7-on-7 is on a Friday. We're going to try to get our guys to school relatively early so we can hop on the bus. And get down there and compete. Okay. More information on that will come next week. Senior retreat is next Sunday. Okay. 8 to 10 p.m. All right. I'll give those guys the information as we get a little closer next week. Lastly, Fundraising U. Fundraising U went really, really well. Our Kelly Wilkins, our guy that works with Fundraising U, he's supposed to come in sometime this week or next week to give out the prizes to the guys that did really well. He's also going to bring in a form or paper for each guy that kind of tells them who their donors were. That way they can go ahead and give a thank you note, call them, email them, text them, whatever. And then they can also provide the tax write-off information because we are a nonprofit 501c3 exempt group. Okay. Another thing to discuss: JCPS ticket prices. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now that for varsity football games, it's going to be $10. All right, $10 per ticket. Now, Coach Johnson, AD Johnson, is going to try to sell pre-sale tickets, but that's why it's important that you guys are on the app so you guys know that information ahead of time. Shouldn't be, knock on wood, shouldn't be any kind of regulation or limitations yet. Who knows with everything that's going on? But as of today, it's anyone that wants to come can come, no limitations. But those ticket prices are $10. That's again why I would probably suggest that you go ahead and buy a season athletic pass to make sure that you guys are good. Okay. And then lastly, I need 6 volunteers for next Sunday, July 25th. It's a Lou City soccer game. Again, same incentives apply. Anyone that works for us gets a T-shirt and a season pass. Obviously, you can see that season pass is probably well worth it now. Typically, these things last about 6 to 7 hours, but they are fun. Okay, and if this is going to be you, if you want to volunteer for this, please give me a holler, shoot me a text, and that way we can get you set up. Okay. Final reminders are pretty standard. Make sure guys have water every day. Make sure they're in their dress code, and again, continue to make sure and spread the word about the band app and the YouTube channel. Guys, that's all that I got. Hope is greater than fear. Let's hope for no rain Saturday. Let's hope for a great week of practice, and we'll be seeing you guys.